Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about eddy currents. So, what are eddy currents, and we want to understand the meaning of that, and what is the effect of eddy current in the electrical appliances. Okay, that also we want to understand. We have to find out that why iron core is used and how the eddy currents are minimized, and some of the applications of the eddy current. Okay, so let us go for that. First of all, what is meant by the eddy currents? Also they are called as a Foucault current. Okay, now currents can be induced not only in the conducting coils but also in the conducting sheets or the blocks. Whenever the magnetic flux linked with the metal sheet or a block changes, EMF is induced inside it. The induced current flow in a closed path in planes perpendicular to the line of forces through the body of that particular metallic sheet. Okay, these current look like eddies. Now eddies means whirlpool in water, and so they are known as eddy currents. As these currents were first discovered by Foucault in 1895, therefore such currents are called as Foucault currents also. So basic definition of eddy current is, eddy currents are the currents induced in solid metallic masses when the magnetic flux threading through them changes. Okay, now eddy currents are also induced currents, so therefore we know that induced current opposes the change in the magnetic flux. So that is according to the Lenz law. This we have studied in the previous concept. Similarly, eddy currents also oppose the change in magnetic flux. So their direction is also given by the Lenz law. So eddy currents is nothing but the induced currents only, but here the eddy currents are produced in a plain sheet of a metal or a block of a metal, isn't it? Okay, so for that we are going to consider the first one experiment, and let us go for that. Okay, now we have here south and north pole, and this is the magnetic field direction you can see by the pink lines, isn't it? Now we have taken a pendulum having its bob in the form of a plain copper plate. So this is a hanging wire, and to that wire we have connected a copper plate, Cu plate. Okay, as shown in this diagram. It is free to oscillate between the pole pieces of the electromagnet, and this is a strong electromagnet producing the stronger magnetic field. Okay, now suppose as it is an electromagnet, we are saying whenever there is a current flows through this magnet, isn't it, then and then only it can behave as a magnet, otherwise it behaves as a normal coil. Okay, so whenever in the absence of any magnetic field, the pendulum swings freely. That means if this north pole and south pole is not existing, that means these are only the normal conducting coils or normal coils through which current is not flowing now. In that case, this particular plate will oscillate freely. Okay, now as electromagnet is switched on, this coil will behave, this face will behave as a north pole, and other coils this face will behave as a south pole, and producing a strong magnetic field from north to south. Now as soon as the electromagnetic switched on, we observe that the oscillations of this pendulum, previously it was moving freely, now it is getting highly damped. Damped means it is going to change now and decrease. Okay, and soon it comes to rest. So initially it will start moving properly, and then as soon as the magnetic field is applied, the oscillation of this particular plate goes on reducing, and at a one moment this plate stops oscillating. Now why it happens? This is because the copper plate moves in between the poles of the electric pieces of the that particular magnet, and magnetic flux threading through it changes. Therefore, eddy currents are set up in it, which according to the Lenz law. So, this particular due to a Lenz law, it opposes the motion of the copper plate, because copper plate only was creating that particular motion of that particular electrons to revolve or to move in a circular path. So whenever electrons of the plate move in a particular circular path, they produces a current, and the direction of the eddy current is such that it opposes the change in the magnetic flux. Now change in the magnetic flux is due to only this copper plate which is coming inside and going outside of the magnetic field. Okay, so we can have here eddy current flow anti-clockwise when the plate swings into the magnetic field, when the plate comes into the magnetic field, and as soon as the plate swings out of the magnetic field, the eddy currents start flowing clockwise. So let us understand this in detail. Okay, eddy currents flow anti-clockwise as the plate swings into the field. So this is the anti-clockwise current. We can see here, this is the anti-clockwise current, isn't it? Okay, now when the plate is moving in, then this is moving in, then the current is anti-clockwise. Okay, and when the plate moves out, so when the plate particular moves out, now in that case, now the current again opposes the change in the reducing flux. Okay, and therefore again it will be a clockwise current. Okay, so that means as soon as the plate comes inside, then in that case the change in the magnetic flux is from 0 to maximum. So when the flux is changing from 0 to maximum, then the direction of the current is in the anti-clockwise manner. Okay, now once the plate enters at the middle place and again goes out of that particular magnetic field, then in that case the flux starts decreasing. So to oppose the decrease in the flux, the current in that particular coil again start moving in the clockwise direction. So what happens in this case, we can say that the eddy current damp the oscillations of the copper plate in the magnetic field. Okay, now suppose what we can see now here. Now suppose in the place of this particular coil, we have taken now a pendulum of a flat copper plate with the narrow slots cut into that particular plate. Okay, so this was a continuous plate, and now we will consider here this particular plate, flat copper plate, in which the narrow slots are cut according to that particular diagram. Okay, now in this case, suppose we will put this one, and again we are going to do the same procedure. Then as soon as the electromagnetic switched on, eddy currents are set up in the plate, but this plate swings for a longer duration than the plate without slots. Okay, that means plate without slots will come to rest quickly, but the plate with the slots will remain in this fluctuating or remain oscillating in this field for a longer time. Why it is so? Because the loop has much larger path for the electrons to travel, and larger path offer more resistance to the electron, and so the eddy currents are sufficiently reduced. So as a result, opposition to the oscillation becomes very small. Now you can see that as soon as we are going to cut this particular path, the electrons which are there in this copper plate, they have to travel much longer distance to complete the path, isn't it? And that's what the eddy currents are reduced. The amount of eddy currents are reduced. So mainly, whenever you have to keep in mind that whenever the plate moves in, the flux goes on increasing, and to oppose the increase in the flux, the direction of the particular current induced is in the anti-clockwise direction. Once the goes out of the magnetic field or outward than that of the magnetic field, then the flux goes on reducing. So when flux goes on reducing, then to oppose the decreasing flux, the current has to flow in the opposite direction. Now current will become clockwise. So certainly it is just like a whirlpool, that is sometimes clockwise, sometimes anti-clockwise. This type of currents are generated due to the free electrons inside that particular metallic plate, and that is called as a eddy current. So also they are called as a Foucault current. Now as we want to find out how to minimize these currents, Okay, now these are the currents. Actually, eddy currents are the currents generally which cause unnecessarily heating of that particular device. Okay, heating of the plate. Also, it is a wastage of power, and the heat produced by the eddy currents damage the insulation of the coils. So these eddy currents are the induced currents, and these are the undesirable effect of the eddy currents, because eddy currents are produced inside the iron cores of the rotating armatures of the electric motors as well as dynamos, and also in the core of the transformer, which experience flux changes when they are in use. Okay, and therefore eddy current causes heating effect and wastage of power. Now heat produced can damage to the insulation of the coils also. So how to reduce it? So for minimization or reduction of the eddy currents, laminated core are used instead of a single solid mass. Consist of a thin sheets of metal insulated from each other by a thin layer of varnish. So such a type of thin plates are used, which are slotted, narrow and slotted plates, copper plates are used, which are insulated from each other. Okay, the planes of the sheets are placed perpendicular to the direction of the current that would be set up by the induced EMF in the material. The insulation between the sheets then offers a high resistance to the induced EMF and the eddy currents are reduced. Okay, now although we are saying that eddy currents are having the effect that is called as a heating effect, they are the wastage of power, but still some applications are there for the eddy currents which are considered as some devices uses that application. So sometimes the eddy currents are considered as a good currents, and sometimes the eddy currents are considered are having the some bad effects on the instruments. Now we are having the applications of the particular eddy currents. Okay, now first one is the induction furnace. Now induction furnace, in this particular case, if the metal specimen is placed in the rapidly changing magnetic field produced by the high frequency alternating current, very large amount of eddy currents are set up, and heat produced is such a sufficient to even melt the metals. This process is called or used in the extraction of the metals from their ores. So induction furnace is using the method of application or generation of the eddy currents in that particular specimen. Okay, now second one is called as electromagnetic damping, and this is a very useful application of eddy currents we can generally see in the galvanometer. Okay, when the current is passed through the galvanometer, its coil suffers few oscillations before coming to rest in the final position. Okay, we have observed this. As the coil moves in the magnetic field, induced current is set up in the coil, which opposes the motion. The oscillations of the coil are damped, and thus such a damping is called as electromagnetic damping. Now, the electromagnetic damping can further be increased by winding the coil on a light copper or the aluminum frame. As the frame moves in the magnetic field, eddy currents are set up in the frame, which resist the motion of the coil, because previously the coil was continuously fluctuating in that magnetic field now, but now as soon as the coil is wound on the particular frame that is called as a light copper frame or a aluminum frame, so what happens, due to that eddy currents are set up in that frame because it is a metallic frame, and those eddy currents which are set up in that metallic frame resist the motion of the coil. So the galvanometer is considered as a deadbeat galvanometer. That means the coil does not oscillate. It deflects and stays in the final position immediately. This observation we have done. As soon as we used to take the reading in the galvanometer, as soon as we are going to take the reading in the particular device, then the particular pointer does not fluctuate more. As soon as we are going to close the key, the pointer will show the deflection and be there at the same place. It is not continuously damping. That particular damping or that particular fluctuation of that pointer is stopped or removed by the electromagnetic damping of the galvanometer, which is the application of the eddy current. Now the third one is called as electric brakes. Now a strong magnetic field is applied to the rotating drum attached to the wheel. Eddy currents set up in the drum exert a torque on the drum so as to stop the train. So in the trains generally the brakes are used which are not a manual brakes, which are considered as electric brakes. in which a strong magnetic field is applied to the rotating drum attached to the wheel. Eddy currents are set up in the drum and exert a torque because it opposes, okay, exert a torque on the drum and the train will suddenly stop. Fourth application is called as a speedometer. Speedometers, in speedometers, the magnet rotates with the speed of a vehicle. Okay, the magnet is placed inside the aluminum drum, which is carefully pivoted and held in the position by a hair-like spring. Okay, now as that particular magnet rotates, eddy currents are set up in the drum, okay, which opposes the motion of the magnet. Again, the torque is exerted on the drum in the opposite direction, which deflects the drum through the angle depending on the speed of the vehicle. So speedometers also contain the impact of the eddy currents. Next one is called as an induction motor. Okay, now in AC induction motor, so these are the AC induction motor. Okay, in AC induction motor, the rotating magnetic field is produced by two single phase alternating currents having the phase difference of 90 degree. Once you will study about the alternating currents, in that you will come to know that what is the phase difference of 90 degree, what is the phase difference of 180 degree. Okay, a metallic rotor is placed in the magnetic field. The eddy currents set up in the rotor tend to oppose the relative motion between the rotating magnetic field and the rotor. Therefore, the rotor starts rotating about its axis. So this is one of the best application of the eddy current, which is called as the induction motor. Okay, and the another application is called as electromagnetic shielding, in which particular case the here the eddy currents are used for electromagnetic shielding, and we have here the change in the magnetic field is partially detected at the points, and we can find out the shielding of that particular electromagnetic shielding of the plate. Okay, now the next one is inductothermy. This is the another application. Eddy currents are also used to heat the localized tissues of the human body. Okay, this branch is called as inductothermy. Okay, so eddy currents are also having the application in the medicines or medical field. And last one is called as energy meters. Okay, in energy meters used for measuring electrical energy, the eddy currents induced in the aluminum disc are made use of. That means whatever in our electric meters at our home or in our apartment, wherever there is a electric cabin is there or meter room is there, in the meter room for a particular person or for a particular flat, the energy meters are there, and you continuously observe that there is a how to take the reading, or how you can say that the meter is continuously working or electricity is continuously there for that particular flat. If you carefully observe that, now there is a certain plate is there or aluminum ring is there, and that aluminum ring continuously rotates, and there is one red mark is there, so you can find out that how many times that particular ring is going to rotate. If that ring stops rotating, then you can say that the current is not passing through that particular meter, and if the current is passing through the meter, that means electricity is supplied to the flat, then that ring has to continuously rotate, and that ring or that plate is made up of the aluminum, and that aluminum plate in that particular energy meter continuously rotate due to the eddy currents generated inside that particular aluminum plate. Okay, so energy meters. So these are some of the applications of the eddy currents. Somewhere the eddy currents are useful, and somewhere eddy currents are considered as a disadvantageous. Thank you.